episode of Superhero Roundup. Not live this week because of the 4th of July holiday. I know we're all bummed. I'm sure that you are as well.
Right now, as this is airing, I am not bummed. I'm probably sleeping.
You're probably sleeping when this is airing, but, you know, we're not going to be in the office tomorrow, so obviously we couldn't have a Friday show. But we do have a very special guest today, Mr. Khail Anonymous.
Yay!
Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey,
Hello, everyone. Hi,
As well as Miss Maud Garrett.
What's up?
And DJ Wooldridge.
Hello.
Sam Basher, not feeling too great today. We wish him all the best. Hopefully he feels better, and he gets to be here next week. But Khail, how are you doing? You're gearing up for Comic-Con?
I am. I started working on my schedule early this year, which was a great idea. I've got a lot of great interviews lined up. You guys got super offended when I said that I'm not going to do the Orphan Black one.
Because it's an incredible show, and I can't believe that you don't watch it.
And Khail Huseman is just like...
I also have not seen Orphan
bit
Black.
my lip.
You literally bit your lip. I almost saw you bleed from how hard you bit your lip, because that's how badly you want some...
this is Dario from
Dario
Game of
Naharis
Thrones.
in your life.
Oh, yeah.
But not like old
Rest in
Dario.
peace.
Not old Dario, who
He's
was
still
like
alive.
just ripply, muscly, hot Dario. This is like sensitive, smart Dario.
Beardy Dario?
Bearded
I
Dario.
like Beardy Dario
Beardy
more than
Dario is
Than Pretty
better.
Boy
That's why he
Dario.
got to
'Cause he
keep
had a
his
beard.
job.
Yeah.
Look, as much as I turned down Orphan Black because I've gone on record saying I'm not going to do an interview unless I'm a fan of something,
That's
it's
sure.
only fair.
That's
But
only
I've got
fair.
so many other great interviews. Like I've never been more excited.
What's your biggest get?
I have Quentin Tarantino for Hateful Eight,
Wow.
which is
Pretty
pretty
good.
cool.
Yes.
And Samuel L.
Pretty good.
Jackson. Like I have the whole cast for that one. That I'm really excited about because I haven't talked to like a really deep director to I can just get into. So
For those people out there who don't know who you are or what you do, tell them what you do and where to
most
find you.
people don't know who I am. Hi, I'm Khail Anonymous. Nice to meet you. I have my own channel. I used to work for Machinima, but now I do several different things. I'm in all different places, so hopefully you'll be able to check out my Comic-Con coverage. It's going to be on Yahoo. I am their host. Like they just
Literally,
me.
Yahoo.
You're screwed. You're stuck with me. But yeah, hopefully you'll check out my stuff. You can follow Twitter, YouTube. Just look up my name.
Yeah,
It's really
and
hard to
Khail-
spell, but good luck.
Khail spelled Khail.
Yes.
And so today on the show, since Comic-Con is coming up next week, there hasn't been a ton of news this week, but some nice choice bites, especially the first released images from Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, which we asked you the question of the day. What do you think of these images? How do you feel about it? Do they make you excited for the movie? That'll be at the end of the show.
Yep.
But right now, we're going to talk all things news this week. Starting with TV, it was announced that Season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to focus on Secret Warriors. It's almost like a complete, not a reboot, but they're retooling the show and making it less of a spy show and more of a superhero show. How do we feel about it?
Which, by the way, Sam's doing a one-on-one.
Yes,
that
all about
comes-
Secret Warriors.
When this airs, it will have come out yesterday at noon.
Okay.
That
the
you
Secret
can
Warriors.
watch, and it's the breakdown on who the Secret Warriors are and everything.
And this is something that I need to watch because I never really got it. I don't really know Secret Warriors very well, and I love it when Sam does this because it's kind of like your cheat sheet. It's like, this is what you need to know. So had I had watched that, I would be able to participate in this conversation a little bit more. But I mean, what I want to know from you guys, tweet at me at Maud Garrett. Should I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Because I have been sidestepping it at the moment. Like a badass.
You've been doing
I'm
all
like,
the,
whoa.
you've been doing all the
yeah.
DC shows.
You
though.
should watch.
Yes, I'm DC. I'm eating my DC shows like cereal.
You should catch the back end of both seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Why would I just
That's
watch
exactly
the
the way to go about
Because
it.
it's legitimately,
Because
it's like the
those-
last 6 episodes of both seasons are the best episodes of the show.
So I
Yeah.
will just watch the last season.
Just watch the
part of
last
season.
6 episodes of the
The
first season and the last 6 episodes of the
this-
second
This
season.
is like another machete order that I will stick by.
Just start watching
Ignore the
Agents
shit.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. when Bill Paxton comes in.
Bill
Yeah.
And then
Paxton's
you'll be
in it?
totally
In
set.
season 1.
And he's
great.
amazing.
He's great.
So good.
Of course, this is Bill Paxton.
He's
Yeah.
the best part of season 1.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
I'll do
I'm
that.
actually really stoked for this because I was a big Secret Warriors fan. If you've read Secret Warriors, you know
Summarize.
a lot of what Marvel has done with S.H.I.E.L.D. has been from Secret Warriors. The idea of Hydra infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D. is from Secret Warriors.
Hail Hydra.
But basically,
Hydra.
there was a big alien invasion, and Nick Fury wanted to get some people that were off the grid. So he got the kids of a bunch of heroes and villains that weren't people
The
didn't know
Inhumans.
had power. Nope.
Oh.
Not Inhumans in the comics.
Yeah. And brought them in as kind of like his secret strike team.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want
it's
to
like
thank you for
another-
not spoiling anything for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., by the way.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
done.
Yeah.
But it's one of those. As when the teaser came out, I keep looking at the poster because I feel like it has to be fake, because this is one of the few times usually it's like, oh, it'd be cool if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did this, and then they don't.
And now they're doing
that thing that we were like, oh, it'd be cool as if they brought in the Secret Warriors, and it's one of those like, man, this can't be real.
Well, they signaled that they were bringing in the Secret Warriors at the end of last season, but I had no idea that it was going to take this much of a focus of the show.
Yeah.
Listen, whatever problems that show has, I've always been a big fan of it. And I've been waiting for the show that it's been trying to be to actually work on all levels, and some weeks it does.
Yes.
The idea of them basically retconning that show and making it a Secret Warriors thing fronted by Skye isn't exciting to me. I love the idea of more powers. The last thing this show needs is more characters, and it's going to introduce like at least another 6 to 8 of them.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see.
Main characters.
From an outsider's point of view, how similar is Secret Warriors to Suicide Squad?
Not at all.
Not the same at all.
Okay.
I would say it's closer to like X-Men if they were run by the government.
Sure.
Something like
What
that.
kind of powers are we talking about? That always gets me so excited.
Well, we've got Lincoln, who's got his static electricity powers.
Yeah.
We've got Quake, who's got her quakey powers.
Quake, yeah, good name.
Yeah.
Quakey powers.
What else? What else do we
Earthquake
have,
powers.
DJ?
In the comics, and again, if you watch that 101, you'll be able to see a lot of this. There's Hellfire, who has a flaming chain.
That's pretty awesome.
He's the
so
son,
he's Ghost Rider, but not
He's the son of a Ghost Rider.
son of a Ghost
Rider. You've got. It's interesting because when
Hashtag
I
son of a Ghost Rider.
actually edited Sam's 101, and I didn't realize that all the characters that team connects to have either been mentioned or shown on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wow.
Yeah.
Secret, all
That-
right.
So there's one named Druid, and he's a magic user, but at one point he gets trained by Bill Paxton's character from the show, John Garrett. So
John
it's like,
Garrett?
That would be interesting.
Yeah, John Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
He's a villain.
You're kind of related to Bill Paxton.
In a way. And so there's a magic user. There's Stonewall, who's the son of Absorbing Man, who can take different. No, he can take on different.
A Crusher Creel.
Yeah, Crusher. Oh yeah, you don't. She doesn't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You need
You're gonna have to
watch
catch
this
up before the show comes
girl.
back.
Why? Because then if I won't be able to do this look every time we talk about it.
But yeah, he can take on different textures of different materials like gold or stone or whatever, and change his
Didn't
size
we
and
see
density.
him in X-Men First Class? The guy who can survive?
No, that was Darwin. That was an invented character for the film.
No, actually,
No.
Darwin is from the comics.
Darwin's from the comics.
Hated that.
Man,
But I like the guy that can absorb something, like he
Yeah.
can hold. Like,
Yeah.
Why did I think pantyhose first, and then turn his like
Arms
arms?
could
to
turn his-
pantyhose. I mean, he
whole body
could.
into pantyhose.
I don't know why you
He's
would
a bit
want to.
kinky.
But you could. You are physically.
Come at
capable
me,
of-
bro.
oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think his whole body?
You know what?
becomes
Let's
it,
move
right?
on to something else,
Okay.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So Secret Warriors next season. It's definitely going to be interesting. I'm more curious about how all the other characters are going to fit into that.
I would imagine they're going to introduce 2 new powered characters and then keep a couple of the core people. Like definitely Mockingbird and how is mixed up Lance Hunter.
Yeah.
Because I mix up because the actor's name is Nick
Yeah.
Blood, which is like a
Which is
superhero
a
name. to be-
great name.
Yeah. So probably going to
So
keep
Hunter
them
and
around.
Mockingbird are still in. I'm
Yeah.
sure Melinda on some level is going to be like their handler.
Yeah.
And then Fitz and Simmons, I don't know.
I mean, probably. Yeah, but and it might be the whole season's, like, the whole front half of the season is them collecting new powered people.
Sure. And then the back half is them releasing this
shit.
new team and being like, the team's not good enough. Maybe
Yeah.
we shouldn't have the team.
Yeah,
And then a
exactly.
movie comes out and they're like, we need the team. And then the last
Exactly.
6 episodes are really good. Yeah. That's exactly
Is
what'll happen.
Captain America Civil War releasing during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.'s run?
I believe that it is.
So it's going to, again, last 6 episodes.
Gonna
yeah,
are
it's
gonna
going
be
to.
into formation.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fall into formation.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So,
Next.
in other Marvel TV news, Agent
Dead.
Carter moving to LA for
Yeah.
season 2, and they just announced some new casting stuff. Apparently, our favorite Russian secret super agent Dottie is returning, even though
Good.
I'm pretty sure she was dead
No.
last we saw her.
Remember he. Have you guys seen Agent Carter?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. There was too many agents happening at the moment. Is Agent Carter a spin-off for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Sort of.
Sort of. It's a
more of a
spin-off-
spin-off of Captain America.
Yeah, so
First-
it's
Yeah, she's
following
back in the-
Peggy Carter
Yeah.
after she returned to the States following Captain America: The First Avenger,
And it is stupid good.
It is
great.
great.
So good.
It's one of the best superhero TV shows,
Yes.
period,
what's
and it's
Agent
easily the
Carter?
best Marvel.
Definitely watch
show.
Agent Carter because it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Is it on? It's not on
It's all on Hulu. It's all on Hulu
Bingo.
Plus.
Why?
Yeah.
That's
See?
why.
It's all on Hulu Plus.
But I guess not spoiling anything.
Hail Hulu.
They did one of those classic, like, I took care of her. Oh, now she's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So
One of those
she's
numbers.
returning, and Enver Gyokaj is returning as her love interest. And
Yes.
apparently
And-
Chad Michael Murray is like within a week
Oh
or
my
two
God.
of signing his contract
When
to
I
return.
was 16, he was the shiz.
Well, he plays a real turd on this show.
And James Darcy's back.
Yeah.
As,
Well, that was already
Jarvis.
announced, but
Oh, really?
I'm very, very excited about that. The big question, though, for season 2 is with Dominic Cooper playing the starring role on Preacher. Will he return
Doubt
as
it.
Howard Stark?
Maybe one episode.
I think one episode.
One episode.
But for Jarvis for it to make any sense for Jarvis to be along for the ride in L.A., he has to be there at least one episode.
Maybe, but they've got such a rapport now. He's got a rapport with
So
Agent
he's just
Carter.
coming with her as a friend.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe.
Close personal friends.
Yes.
Haley Atwell is real nice.
And she's also a really good actress. So she's really good in that.
Yeah.
Really great on that
She's
show.
Did you see
really
the
killing
video of her, like, she's, like, bored? and
Yes,
she wants
I
work?
did,
She
on
shoves
Twitter.
a whole cookie in her mouth.
Yeah.
And then frowns.
Yeah.
That's great.
You should
Yeah,
watch
it's hilarious.
that.
It's really, it's funny.
Well, she's a super
very
fan.
winning.
You saw her passport where she dressed as Agent Carter for her passport?
Oh, that's
Nice.
great.
She's
That's great.
awesome.
She's
I
real
love
cool.
Haley Atwell.
In other news, which I can talk about because I've seen it, Daredevil season 2 is coming about, and internally the showrunners are calling season 2 Daredevil versus Punisher, which is getting a lot of people excited. But we don't know if Punisher is going to be the villain in it, or if he's going to be challenging our lovely blind friend to be the anti-hero of Hell's Kitchen.
I think it'll be less of him as a straight up villain and more of just challenging Daredevil's notion of what being a vigilante is.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm a little bit worried about it because one of the problems of last season was very, especially by the end, kind of empty. Mm-hmm. And so it's like we're just gonna put. They don't. I don't know. I've been spoiled by Arrow and the Flash, where it's like every couple episodes they start retooling stuff and changing
Everything
directions.
changes,
Yeah, and
yeah.
they keep adding new things, and they keep trying new stuff. And Daredevil kept. It's like we're gonna do this one thing for 13 episodes.
Do you think that this is because it was all shot in one to be released at the same time on Netflix, whereas Arrow is kind of staggered and they're getting feedback?
Well,
I think that maybe part of it.
it's partial because when you're getting that feedback, you have to imagine when the first episode of Arrow airs, they're probably shooting episode 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So they can start adding those changes and retooling the show, but it's a very delayed reaction. So there's some of that, but not really. I think it's just when you have a season that's that long, you have time and it's necessary to create multiple arcs within one long arc. The big issue with Daredevil season 1, I agree with you, DJ, is it felt just kind of empty. It was like culminating towards one conflict between Kingpin and Daredevil. What I like about this Daredevil versus Punisher dynamic is that it's not just a good guy versus a bad guy. It's about dueling ideologies and really testing why is Matt Murdock doing this and why is he doing it this way and is there a better way to clean up the city?
Yeah.
And I really think that that's going to fuel it with far more dramatic tension because these aren't guys who are foes. They ultimately believe in the same thing. And it's going to... I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I think that it's definitely going to be interesting. The big question is, are they going to try to shoehorn in Bullseye and Elektra this season?
Ooh.
I think that we'll at least see Elektra. I don't know if we're going to get Bullseye this season. I don't know that we
Can we let out a
to.
sigh of relief?
Oh, because Elektra uses size. You are
modern puns.
monstrously proud of that.
It's like a dad joke a little bit. I am interested because it seems like they have like different fighting styles, and what I mean by that is Punisher is like all about he's a weapon dude. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm not saying he can't go toe to toe, but that may mean that whereas Daredevil season 1 was more about brawling, we may see a different dynamic in our action
Stealth.
scenes.
Yeah.
Stealth.
Yeah,
Yes.
different, more militaristic type.
So-
at least a few of those action scenes were Punisher, because we're going to see Punisher taking motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Honestly,
said
the
it.
thing I'm most excited about for Daredevil season 2, and maybe I'm wrong for this, is I'm honestly just excited to see Foggy again.
Yeah.
I thought that that his performance
Is he the underfog?
was maybe the best part of that show, other than the fight scenes.
I enjoyed it, and it's funny how mixed people's response to Foggy is.
Really?
'Cause a lot of people are like, "Oh, I hated Foggy." It's like,
Yeah.
he worked for me.
He worked
I'm-
really
I'm
well
anti-Foggy.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm all about clear skies. I don't need.
Boo.
He was
Great.
More
them
puns.
them dragging on the like he doesn't know, like it was just like, and
Yeah.
Foggy was.
Oh, and I am of the opinion that one of the weakest episodes of that show was the flashback.
Oh, it was awful. There are some people who say it was the best episode of the season, and they are wrong.
I was gonna say it was the
No,
worst.
they have an
Wait, the
opinion. It's just different
avocados.
to yours.
The avocados at law.
They
Yeah.
are
I was
wrong.
gonna. I would say it was the worst, and then when I rewatched it, the episode where we find out Kingpin's backstory is really bad.
I like all of the backstory
Yeah.
stuff, but nothing
really
happens in
weird.
that
I
episode.
watched that.
Anyway, I don't know.
I can't-
But,
There's a
but
wall.
I
How about
think-
this year? How about this year? Instead, if you're going to do a flashback episode, do it as one long flashback and tell an actual story with it, instead of getting little cool snippets of flashback and nothing happening in the present, for God's
I
sake.
think a lot of problem that Netflix series have, and the only show I've watched on Netflix that kind of breaks that mold, and I think it's because the showrunner worked in a more traditional TV environment, is Orange is the New Black.
Yep.
Most Netflix shows are like, isn't it great? It's like a 13-hour movie. No,
It's not
that
great.
sounds boring.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, I'd rather have 13-hour-long movies where you tell a complete
Yeah,
story
like
in those.
Sherlock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm, which is another Netflix.
I'd say I went into it like halfway through the series. I thought of it. Oh, this is like this is a comic book story. This is the end of issue 1, and
Yeah.
because they have to keep you reading, and they have to tell like one long story. So I was like, okay, that was the first issue. This was the second issue. This was the third
Yeah.
issue, and it told one long story. I think if you go at it with that sort of mindset,
Yeah.
you can see it differently. But I know what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
Right, but I feel like most issues of a comic have some level of story progression that some episodes of Daredevil just simply did not have.
like they had to fill in like
I-
an episode.
Yeah, it was just kind of we were just kind of getting like piecemeal information,
Yeah.
moving forward sluggishly.
Yeah.
The thing that makes a series great, whether you've got 13 episodes or 22 or 10 or 8, is you have these big moments that careen you in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Justified is a show that does that really well with 13 episodes, where each season is clearly broken down into 3 acts.
Yeah.
And at the end of each act, you get a major reveal or a death or an explosion or some kind of big twist that brings us into that next block of episodes, then brings us into that final block of episodes.
I'm going to say something that may be unpopular, but I really don't like Kingpin in this. I think his acting is just, it takes me out of it.
I have very mixed feelings about Kingpin.
Oh my God.
And a lot of people sing
taking-
praises about it, and it was just one of those like,
He's going so heavily into a character that
Yeah.
is not, it screams fictional. It's just not real to me. And I know he's a character actor. I liked him in Jurassic World, but in this, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's just infuriating for me. I yell at my screen, shut your fucking mouth. Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, poor Fisk.
yeah,
Poor little Fisk.
we
Poor
we reviewed the Daredevil episodes. I went into length about my
Yeah,
opinions
we-
on
we
Kingpin,
don't
but
need to
I'm glad
spend
I'm
much
not
more time
alone in
on
my
it.
mixed feelings.
So let's move out of the
Cool.
TV world and talk movies.
Let's talk movies. I know that X-Men are getting really hyped up into their characters at the moment. Olivia Munn doing some fancy sword work
Yeah.
with Psylocke. We know that the character, can conjure up a
Psychic blade.
photon, psychic blade.
Psychic blade. Yep.
And so she's obviously getting that into action. She's showing off her skills, which is great.
Gambit, Channing Tatum is learning card tricks for the film, and he also talks about learning the accent. He says, "I'm from the South, so I know."
No, his heritage is Cajun.
is his
Yeah,
heritage?
that's why
Wait,
he's so
gonna be in it
passionate.
for sure.
he's
Yeah,
Gambit.
Because there was like a
No, he's Gambit.
No, I know he's gonna be Gambit, but he's definitely gonna be in.
No,
Oh no, he's not going to be in Apocalypse.
They're giving Gambit his own movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to work.
And I don't think there's a Gambit of all the characters to get his own movie. Gambit.
Well, he
Gambit
has
works
a
well
massive
within.
fandom.
No, he didn't. We saw him in Wolverine, and Gambit was so poorly used that
that's
I'm wanting redemption.
Rest in peace, Taylor Kitsch.
But then again, that there was a lot of problems with Wolverine Origins.
was a
In fact, there
bitch.
wasn't really
Yeah,
anything
Kitsch the
right about
bitch.
that movie.
Yeah, well, the opening montage where we show
Sure,
Logan through the
that's
ages
okay.
is the only good part of
Cool.
that movie.
Yeah.
Cool, but it's- I
World
just
War
feel-
II, is it?
Yeah, World War
Yeah.
II. And all that.
But then again, I'm of the opinion that I don't think the Deadpool movie is going to work.
And to that I say, get
Yeah,
out!
you no to
No,
you.
yeah.
We have to believe.
Well,
You
hold
just
on.
believe, man.
I would like to hear DJ's point on why both of these movies aren't going to work, and then we can open the floor.
Bring the hater in. Let's
I don't
do it.
know. No, I just don't know. I don't know if Gambit is a strong enough character to support his own film, or because there's just not. I know there's a huge fan following, but I mean, traditionally his standalone comics, he's good to have other characters play off of.
Yeah,
And there
if
will
we
be
throw
other
in more
characters in there.
characters, would you be convinced? Like
Maybe
if they were like,
if
oh,
it was a
here's
Gambit
Rogue.
movie.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, can we
Maybe.
get a proper Rogue
Yeah,
for once?
like,
That'd be
I may be down for that. And
Oh,
Deadpool, I think.
You're
Real
very
Rogue?
anti-Anna Paquin?
So anti-Anna Paquin. When
Yeah,
I
what is
first
that?
saw her come into the original X-Men movies, I wanted to claw my face off. I was so upset. She is not how I pictured Rogue.
I'm an
Rogue is
adorable little rogue. Yeah.
Rogue is cartoon Rogue, where she is vivacious, she's
No.
fierce, she's southern, and then she starts flying around, and she's like, "Hey, darling, where is she?
Yeah.
No.
She could be in this Gambit movie."
Yeah, and then I think Deadpool. I think what makes Deadpool work in the comics will not work in the traditional superhero formula that they're going to shove this.
I don't
movie
think that
into.
they're using the traditional superhero
Yeah.
formula.
I
They're going to
don't-
break that
So-
fourth
I
wall.
think like it's going to be more of a parody of superhero
Yeah.
films, and people are
Yeah.
so engaged in that world that it's going to feel like refreshing.
I guess for me, like for Deadpool to work, it needs to be funny. And that little teaser that they put out, that is what got this guy the job to do the movie, was awful.
That's
in my
because you don't
opinion.
have a sense of humor.
Maybe. I did like
would not
Foggy and
say that
Daredevil.
DJ doesn't have a sense of humor. So they just released a new image from
Nah,
the
it's fine.
Deadpool movie again today, and he looks like he just stepped right out of the comic.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I can't wait.
He looks great. To your 2 points, DJ.
Yeah.
The Gambit movie, I understand your concerns, and I do agree with them to some extent, but if we don't think about it as a traditional superhero film, like take a movie like The Equalizer, the Denzel Washington movie that came out this year.
Yeah.
Take out Denzel Washington, put in Gambit. Make it a B movie that's gritty and dirty and is Gambit trying to save the life of someone that he cares about or someone that doesn't deserve to be hurt against a bunch of awful thugs,
Yeah.
and stretch that out over
Do you think they will
85,
do
90
that?
minutes. What?
Do you think they will do that?
I honestly don't know. I don't know what story you can tell with Gambit, but something like that makes more sense to me than something more sci-fi, personally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hope that that's the route that they go. With Deadpool, I remember the script that I read, I want to say like 5-6 years ago,
Yeah.
and it was awesome. I
And
don't
they
know
called
how...
out movie head studios, but I
Yeah.
mean that's a thing that Sony's been experiencing for a
Right.
while, so it's nothing new anymore.
Yeah, I think the thing about Deadpool for me is what makes it great is its tone. And I feel like
Yeah.
if the movie can nail that tone and just go balls to the wall crazy, I feel like we could have another Kick-Ass on our hands.
You know the
Believe.
you know the only people I think that could pull off Deadpool well
Are
It's
Neville
two
Dean
groups.
Taylor?
No, Neville Dean and Taylor, who did the Crank movies.
Yeah.
And also Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Oh wow, yeah, they could do some amazing things with Deadpool.
No, I feel protected.
And I
of
feel
that.
like
South
the,
Park.
the
You know, I know. I'm trying to process
Yeah,
what that would be.
I
I
feel
think the
protective of-
tightrope that it would make that character work is so
I'm thinking
tight
more
that
Edgar
you need
Wright.
somebody that good. I mean, but
Yeah.
Edgar Wright could do
doing
anything
Deadpool
great.
would,
Yes.
would
You
yeah.
give Edgar Wright anything. I think they should have given Edgar Wright.
Anything.
I would watch an Edgar
Schindler's
Wright
List by
superhero
Edgar
movie.
Wright.
should.
I would
Edgar
watch
Wright.
an Edgar Wright Superman movie.
I would watch an Edgar Wright Superman movie. I think they should have given him Spider-Man.
Oh wow, Edgar Wright Spider-Man would have
With,
been dope.
with you look at
Spider-Man.
Scott Pilgrim, whatever.
Cool. In other movie
News.
I don't know. I don't have the list.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You're just moving us
See you
on.
guys next time.
Hey.
In other movie news, Kevin Feige talking more about the Spider-Man film. He says it's gonna have a John Hughes vibe.
Yeah.
Which I don't know about you. I don't remember any John Hughes films with action sequences, except for maybe Weird Science.
Right.
It's gonna have like 80s
Great movie.
music.
Yeah,
Great.
right.
It's a classic movie.
Spider-Man's going to be in detention. He's going to have to fight crime and figure out how to get out of detention, which actually would kind of work.
It's gonna film like 4x3. It's
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Do we say, okay, maybe on the count of three, we actually say yes or no to whether we want another Spider-Man? 1, 2, 3.
No.
there's money in it.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of Spider-Man'd out. The Amazing Spider-Man movies were just so flawed. I really need to be wowed
When a
for
movie
me to get
studio-
excited about the character again. I'm bored with the character. I'd rather just see him be like the Hulk and just pop up in the group Marvel movies for like 4 or 5 years after we've really built up a rapport with this new Spider-Man, and then you drop on us just the most
Yeah, but then he's
badass,
not going to be a
amazing
teenager
Spider-Man.
anymore. That's what they need.
We need a teenager to
it's
bring in
not-
the kids.
It's not like we separated it out by generations. It's not like there was a whole. It's not like, oh, this is this generation Spider-Man. This is this generation Spider-Man. Like we kind of had with Batman for a while.
Yeah.
That's
There
the
wasn't
way
even
to do
enough
it.
time to reset.
Yeah.
I
Because you can go Spider-Man right now, and people would go, which one?
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, this is my Spider-Man.
Right, because
Yeah.
like the gap between Batman Begins and Batman and Robin was 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years is a long time to allow people to forget and then see something completely different.
And it's going to be
Never forget Batman and Robin.
a bit of a hike between Dark Knight Rises and Justice League. Well, I guess Batman v Superman is the next one. There will be a bit of a gap.
Yeah, what is that? 2011 to 2016?
yeah.
It's like a 5-year gap.
But for the John Hughes thing, I'm sure not everyone is from that sort of era. So
Yeah.
can you explain what John
Sure.
Hughes-ish is going to be?
If you haven't seen 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, The Breakfast Club, Weird Science,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Day Off,
For brewers.
John Hughes had a very singular take on what high school life was like. It was very, very Caucasian, but it was also very wry and
Spider-Man.
funny, and he treated these kids like adults. He made them feel very, very real, and they had a very offbeat sensibility. So the fact that he's saying that...
described.
Yeah.
Thank
Nicely
you.
done.
So the idea that they're really going to make this like a high school movie where they treat the high schoolers like real people is exciting to me, because sometimes in these comic book movies it's hard
Because
to
they're
feel like
actually
anyone is real because they're just walking around, they're
superheroes.
like action figures.
Yeah.
I do like that aspect, and the fact that everything, no matter whether it's super or regular, is going to be grounded in his high school experience. Being Spider-Man is Peter Parker's high school experience.
Yeah.
That idea of it is fresh to me.
Yeah.
They're going to choose a new villain, one that we haven't seen before, I don't think, in any of the previous Spider-Man takes. So who do we want the villain to be?
Which is a good
Craven the
decision
Hunter.
because
Craven the Hunter.
Definitely
That
Craven
would
the
be
Hunter.
cool.
He's the best Spider-Man
Craven.
adversary that they have not used yet.
Yeah.
But I think it's good that they're, because I think Spider-Man pretty definitively has the best rogues gallery of the Marvel universe.
I'd agree with that.
Which it's good for Marvel that now have, because their villains have kind of been lackluster in their movies. So it's good that they have access to the Osborns, Lizard, Doc Ock.
I
a lot of
swear to
those
God,
things.
if they use
Shocker.
Vulture, I'm out.
You're not a Vulture fan?
I'm not
Really?
gonna.
I learned from
Honestly,
the Amazing Spider-Man.
I'm
That's
out.
not actually
series.
one of the things I'm most curious about in like unmade superhero movies is that Spider-Man 4 that they were going to make with John Malkovich as the Vulture,
Yeah.
and how bad it must have been for them to pull the plug.
Can anybody do a John Malkovich impression
Don't want
as
me.
Vulture?
Spider-Man. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
that's not bad.
it's a lot of over enunciation of the words.
That's pretty good.
How would you feel about Jason Statham as Vulture?
That's
now
a terrible
listen here,
idea.
Spidey.
Because in the comic, like apparently, I think it was Ultimate Spider-Man. They made him look like Jason Statham.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Give it. You know what?
I mean, he hates superhero films, but
Get Michael Ironside. Michael Ironside, Darkseid from the Justice League
Yeah.
cartoon and Superman and everything, but also just one of the best badass heavies of all time. Get him to lose some weight. He's
old is
old.
he?
He's
Yeah.
grizzled. He's got that deep, scary voice. I
Yeah.
love it.
I think I'm still just bummed that because Drew Goddard was supposed to get the Spider-Man movie,
Yeah.
and because Marvel hates his guts, they ixnayed him.
And what? Because he dropped out of
Daredevil.
Of Daredevil
In the
to
Sony-
do Spider-Man.
Yeah, in the Sony leaks, there was so much bad blood on Marvel's end because of that. That has to be the reason he's cut out. You know what they need to do? They need to hire Greg Weisman. Did the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon series, and it is the best adaptation of Spider-Man ever.
Ever.
And they need to just have him write it.
They just should have him write everything. Young Justice.
Right.
Also great.
Also
Should
amazing.
not have been as so good, but it's so
Yeah.
good. Especially if they're taking this John Hughes approach to Spider-Man.
Yep.
The way he wrote Young Justice, throw him at Spider-Man.
Yep.
Throw him at Spider-Man, he'll crush it.
how many Spider-Man movies would you be okay with them doing with the new Spider-Man? Like how? Because we've only
They're
made
gonna-
it to 3.
They're going to do 4.
So you're good at
They are going to do 4.
Plus whatever
Nice.
Avengers
Here-
movies he shows up in.
Yeah. For me,
That's gonna be good though.
I'm judging every Spider-Man movie alone on its merits, and they all need to be good to be worthwhile. We've not had a full run of Spider-Man movies where all of them have been worthwhile. No. I don't know that we've had a full run of any superheroes movies where all of them are good.
That's because they're squeezing.
I would say.
What about Batman?
I would say Nolan's Batman. All of those movies are.
Dark Knight Rises?
Yes, I am a big proponent of Dark Knight Rises.
Wow.
Because it is a good movie. Whether you think like there's a good Batman movie, it is a good movie.
It's better than like most of the other stuff.
I
If
honestly
they'd spent 2 more months on the script, it would have been a good movie.
No, I disagree. I think it's a good movie. I actually think the weakest of the Nolan movies is Batman Begins.
They're definitely it definitely
I'll give you that.
doesn't
they
wear
feel
its
an awful
age
lot in that
well.
movie.
Yeah, the Narrows, I still cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In other news, they've got a title for Guardians of the Galaxy sequel.
Ooh.
Yes,
Guys, are you ready?
We Are Groot.
Now, are you ready for this badass title? That's
All right.
out of left field, it's gonna blow you away.
I
If
think
you're in a
it's really
bedroom,
clever.
close your doors because it's gonna get weird. Go.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Wow.
Whoa.
So exciting.
So exciting.
What?
I know, Volume 2.
Volume 2?
Volume 2. Yeah.
Is that like an Encyclopedia Britannica? It's
yes.
like Volume 2?
Volume 2.
All right.
It's a direct reference to
It's a tape, right?
Yeah,
Crazy
to
Mixtape
the
Volume
cassette
1.
tape.
Really
which
gunning for that one, James.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the title, and I think it's maybe more original than just Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
But also, it doesn't matter.
You know what? Give me a good soundtrack. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Screw the title. Who do you think his dad's going to be? I'm saying it's either Adam Warlock or Magus.
I think it's Adam Warlock.
I think they're
Dude,
gonna-
that would be awesome if they introduced Adam Warlock.
I think
Finally.
I think they're gonna forego Adam Warlock for Magus and maybe introduce Adam Warlock in Infinity Gauntlet,
Interesting.
Infinity War.
All I want them to do is like I am your father. And you'll be like, cool, man.
Right on.
I
whatever.
would not put it
Deflating, yeah.
past James Gunn to do that.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's
He's
all
a
in the
huge
family now.
Star
And also,
Wars
why don't they
fan.
just
You
have
can
Howard the Duck be part of the team now?
Yes.
Because there's a
please.
duck and a raccoon?
Yes.
You need to
That's
calm
the reason
your
that movie was successful. Is its sidekicks, Groot and
Just
Rocket Raccoon.
turn the ship into almost like the Love Boat and
Yeah.
let Howard the Duck be their bartender.
That is my favorite. Like that.
I don't mind that.
That is one of my favorite bits. Like everybody's talking like, oh man, it's so they took such a big chance. No, they didn't. Just like Abu was successful, Rocket Raccoon was successful. They knew Rocket Raccoon and Groot were
I'm
going to sell
sorry.
so
Are
many
you
toys.
comparing Rocket Raccoon to Abu the
Yes,
monkey
because
in
look at every Disney movie. They have their little anthropomorphized sidekicks. That's what Groot and Rocket Raccoon were.
Olaf the Snowman and Frozen.
Olaf the Snowman, the fishes in Little
that
Mermaid, the fish
annoying
and the crab.
fucking robot
that
from
fish
Treasure
and the
Planet.
crab?
Yeah, I don't care.
Sebastian.
all the fucking silverware in Beauty and the Beast. Like that's what
Okay.
Groot and Rocket
The
Raccoon were.
silverware
Wow.
were not characters in Beauty and the Beast. Let's
The
be
fucking
clear. They
candelabra.
were extras.
Yeah, you get what I'm going.
Yeah.
what
You're
I'm
Talking
going
about Disney movies like they're plebes. So for the people that all that talking candlestick in that
with.
stupid
I don't know.
Bullshit.
Hey, Beauty and the Beast was a great movie.
What
It is a great
Beauty
movie.
and the Beast was a great
What
movie.
about if they introduced Rocket Raccoon's girlfriend and best friend?
Oh, I thought Rocket Raccoon's best friend was Groot.
It is great.
It is great.
No, but Walrus.
Walrus.
You know that?
I've never seen Walrus.
Okay, so his girlfriend is an otter.
Yeah.
Like this is like way down.
This is,
Way
this
back
is
in the
canon,
day.
guys.
This
This
is deep
canon.
web of the comic, but it is
He's
canon.
taking you down the rabbit
his
hole right
girlfriend, his girlfriend
The raccoon
is
hole.
is a an otter, and then his other friend is a walrus named Walrus.
That's funny.
Nice. That's
yeah,
pretty
so
good.
hopefully they don't introduce
Walrus.
those characters. Let's stick with Howard the
good.
Duck for sure.
Yeah, I think we're cool on that.
I'm so happy with that joke that I made.
And he's really gunning for this one.
Walrus.
Like
Oh,
Wall-E.
like Wally.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
boy.
clever minx.
So Comic-Con's coming up just around the corner, and
Yeah.
Great
let's
transition.
thank you. Marvel's not going to have a presence there, but I have noticed that there's been quite a lot of Marvel news this week. Do you think that they are leaking things so that there is talking points so that DC doesn't smother? What do you think? Do you think there is still a Marvel DC kind of?
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, totally.
But
Look, Marvel knows from the fact that Avengers 2 was not an out-and-out critical and fan success, They know that they are at least a little bit vulnerable. For the first time in years, Marvel is vulnerable to DC actually trumping them on anything, which has never happened before.
Yeah.
So Kevin Feige is not stupid. He is 100% going to take any opportunity he can to dominate the conversation and make sure that whatever DC has planned for Comic-Con isn't going to disrupt any future plans or take attention away from Ant-Man bowing the following weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Marvel is going to be headed into, you know how Pixar had that, like, the time of Pixar between Toy Story and WALL-E, that it was like they were king. And then you get Cars, and then like Cars 2, and they've had a kind of a fallow period. I think Marvel's going to kind of hit, like, with Avengers 2 not being the blowout success of the year, and Ant-Man. It was a good movie. Yeah. Maybe not as strong as they were. A lot of their stuff is sequels. We're talking about Thor 3.
Only good things from Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's because everybody's expectations are so low.
That's fine.
Oof, yeah.
It's
Are
why
so low.
Look, I wish that I could go into a Christopher Nolan movie and not expect the moon, because I always wind up halfway there.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm excited to see this movie because I wasn't expecting anything, and now I'm hearing only great things.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I can't wait to be wowed by it.
No.
So you think Marvel will announce something huge right after Comic-Con to kind of like put a blanket over all the DC stuff?
They don't have to, because the huge thing is going to be in whatever the mid-credits and end-credits sequence things are in Ant-Man, because that's the thing that people are going bonkers for. Yeah, there's two.
And apparently the best ones so far.
Best ones.
We know Ant-Man's going to be in Captain America Civil War, so it has to be something with him joining that new Avengers thing. One of those has to be that.
Yeah.
You know, Nick Fury in his den saying, hey, you want to join the Avengers Initiative?
The end of Avengers 2, you had the new team assemble. Maybe there's like a scene that they shot that day, and they're just playing that. I don't know. I've not seen it.
Those people around.
Yeah, like they just show that scene, and then all of a sudden it like zooms way
Ant-Man right there.
Ant-Man is like, hey guys!
Hey, that would be
hilarious.
He's been there the entire time?
Yeah!
Actually, that's pretty awesome.
Speaking of Comic-Con, though, I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be there, and Agent Carter are going to be there.
Yes,
you know, Marvel
TV panels.
as a whole is in there. What do you guys think? Big fans of Flash and Arrow and all that stuff. What do you think they're going to announce? Like, around this time is when we first heard about Adam being an Arrow. What do you think we're going to get this year?
We've got definitely renewed seasons for both or all of them.
Yeah.
iZombie's going to be there as well.
Yeah. Plus Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl.
Yeah. I'll give you my picks.
Yes.
I'll give you how about this? We each say one thing from each show that we would like them to announce.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
iZombie, I want what is it? It's
Weird Terriers?
Weird Terriers.
Yeah.
I want Weird Terriers. I want things to get weirder in season 2. For Arrow, I want to bring in more like B and C level heroes. Like, I would love to see Shining Knight or Vigilante.
That'd be great.
That would be really cool to
to
see those characters, which could be seen as a little goofy in that universe, which is grittier. I think could be really, really awesome. Flash, I think they're going to announce Jay Garrick this year. We're going to see Jay Garrick this year, potentially even with casting, which would be dope.
Yep.
And Legends of Tomorrow, I honestly just want to have a better idea of what this show is.
Yeah.
I still have no idea, and that is a dangerous place for an audience member to be.
I agree. Like, when we saw that glimpse of the Legends of Tomorrow, you kind of like, yeah, cool, these characters are assembling. We know this guy's come back in time, and he's kind of like the leader of everything. And then it went blah, 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 blah. I was like, whoa, whoa. And then it kind of
looked
like
I was watching that like CW Fight Club, superhero Fight Club thing that they shot.
Flash reminded me of the future of X-Men when they were beating the Sentinels and like that giant foot came through the building. I was like, this looks familiar. So the same, I want a little bit more clarity. I want to get to know Hawk Girl. I want to get to know these characters a little bit more and like get a real idea of who they are and their personalities. When it comes to the Flash, they left so many Easter eggs that we can expand upon those, like Jay Garrick with the hat. There was in the future newspaper, there was a bunch of Easter eggs hidden in there, like Hawk Girl as well. So I think she's going to be a prominent feature, especially with the rumors that she may get her own spin-off. So I'd like to, have a big understanding of who this person is and their character. And as far as iZombie goes, the same. I think there's going to be something more than zombies happening in season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cliffhanger was the
I don't
cure.
know enough about any of these things.
Oh,
I'm halfway through Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 2. Do you have to say Marvel's?
Yes, you have to say Marvel's
Agents of
of
S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC at
S.H.I.E.L.D.
8 p.m.
on
Central.
ABC.
Season two.
It's season 2. You have to say the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, basically what you guys are saying, it'd be cool if we got some new stuff. I think we're gonna hear more about the plans for what was the Max Rager drink and iZombie. I'd be interested. I like the idea of like really hitting the obscure characters in Arrow and maybe get a better sense of where that show's gonna go.
No more
post-season
Ra's al
3.
Ghul.
Yeah,
Please, none of that.
I mean, well, now we've got
Malcolm Merlin is the new Rage.
Ra's al Ghul.
No, I think that's to tie up his character, so
Well,
you don't have to worry about it again.
in the description of the panel, they bring up now that Merlin's Ra's al Ghul, what are they going to do?
And that's the entire description of the video.
That's the entire description of the thing. And Flash, it'd be interesting if Jake Garrick or any other speedsters, like maybe Wally West, hints of that.
Wally.
I also think maybe since we did see Hot Girl at the end of season 1.
When you say it sounds like Hot Girl.
What's her
since
superpower?
Legends,
I'm hot.
Frappuccinos.
Legends of Tomorrow, Legends of Tomorrow is a mid-season thing. It'd be interesting if Hot Girl's in the front half of Flash.
There you
To
go.
kinda like
Hot
set
Girl.
her up.
Introduce her,
like that.
do kind of like a backdoor pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selfies.
Although I don't think she should get her own. I think Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, that's a pretty solid.
I'm really worried that CW is going to just oversaturate us with superhero shows, and the
Agree.
quality will collectively drop.
Yeah.
That's
Especially if it's all the same creator. Like all these shows have been by the same set of guys.
same executive producer.
You know
it's
what?
like that's got to start.
For me, I've been very, very pro DC television series and very pro Marvel movies. That's like they're my passions have lied. And passions have.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
You're good.
And I think that you're right. There is going to be a huge shift. I think that maybe with the saturation of great Marvel movies, that will drop, and because DC's been nailing that, that'll drop. And Marvel's going to pick up the television series, which they have been with Daredevil. I think that was a great start. And then DC movies. I mean, their next slate's coming up. Sure, we have to wait a little bit longer, but that looks quite promising. We may see a shift, people.
Oh,
No,
is there a
it's-
Jessica Jones panel at Comic-Con this year?
I did not see one. You can let us know in the comments or tweets if there is. I did not see any Daredevil.
If you work for
Just-
Marvel and you're watching this show,
Yes.
put it in the comments.
I'm calling it right now. Jessica Jones is going to crush.
Jessica Jones is played by Rachel Taylor, who's an Australian, right?
No,
No.
Jessica
Oh.
Jones is played by the woman who was the lead in Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. She was also
Oh,
on.
yep. Kristen.
Kristen Ritter.
Yeah.
Kristen Ritter.
The
Really?
actress you're speaking of is playing her best friend, who's Hellcat in the comics.
Hellcat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
That's right.
think I think that with David Tennant as Kilgrave, they really have something special.
Please announce other villains other than him.
Yeah.
Please give us more villains than just the one guy. One villain for 13 episodes
not enough.
Is not enough.
We've seen
Oh,
that.
you hate that?
Kingpin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Give us
Also
something more.
for Supergirl, and then we'll move on to our question of the day. For Supergirl, I don't need to see anything at Comic-Con. I don't need them to announce anything
Well,
at
they're
Comic-Con.
showing the pilot.
They're showing the pilot. Yeah. But
Which
my,
I can watch that right now.
right.
I can pick up
My point is, I know that this show is going to eventually become something very special. And I know that that's a reversal of things that I've said in the past. I think that there is a good show in the DNA of the show that we've seen. I think that it's going to take several episodes for them to find their way there. So I'm just going to wait and see. I'm going to watch everything, and I'm just going to wait and see how it is at mid-season.
What would you think it would take to make it veer to the right direction?
Less obviousness in the characterizations and the writing. I
Better
think
chemistry, please.
better chemistry, sure. I think it's just everyone needs to get used to their roles, and they need to get out of pilot mode so that
Yeah.
they can start letting these characters breathe. I like seeing her fight aliens. I want to see more of that.
Well, that choreography was rank.
I disagree. As the only person here that enjoyed the
agree with you,
pilot.
Maude.
Enjoyed the pilot. I don't think it was rank.
You missed by a long, long way.
I would like to see them
But the
announce
wind.
a casting for Superman and possibly Lex Luthor.
Super. Okay, and that's not a pun.
No.
All right, we got to
Should've
move
been.
on,
Yeah.
again, super, to the Batman v Superman images, and we asked you as our question of the day what you thought. So I'm going to read all these tweets right now, and then we're
Great.
going to jump into our thoughts on it. Gamer Goblin at Gamer Goblin says, Lex Luthor's wig is the most wig-looking wig I've ever seen.
It's horrendous. I'm waiting for him to just take it off and
Well,
be like,
he will take it off. I honestly thought
Gotcha.
that Gal Gadot's wig on the cover of EW is even worse.
Yeah.
It's just so obviously a wig.
Yeah, huh?
And that's a bummer.
if a wig is obviously a wig, it's not a good wig.
It's not a good wig.
Couldn't
Okay.
tell that it was a wig.
You couldn't?
Steven,
Wait, Maude, you really hate the way Lex Luthor.
Really
works it.
can't stand
What,
that.
In a noise, how do you feel about that?
The
In a
image that I s-
noise.
Oh, in a noise?
Stephen Barry at Why So Carefree says the Bruce Diana image gives me Justice League animated series vibes. Makes me optimistic if Snyder's taken notes from that. Now that's a pairing that has also happened in the comics. It's not just from JLU.
Yeah.
Although I really enjoyed that pairing on the show. And DJ, were we saying that before the show or during the show?
Yeah, we said it before the show. I liked how they handled it in the show because it didn't really work out. I am not a huge fan of the Wonder Woman Batman pairing because it just feels like more Batman fan wank. Like, Batman's so cool, he lands cool. We get it. Everybody loves Batman.
Everybody wants to bone Batman.
I feel like Batman gets his own love interests with Talia and Catwoman. Superman gets his own love interest with Lois Lane. Do we need to pair Wonder Woman with one of them? Can't she have her own
We've got
love
to
interest?
give a woman something to do.
Look,
someone to do.
It's
Yeah,
not.
like,
It's not
ooh.
romantic. She is spying.
I do hope that. I hope that Batman is part of whatever game she's playing and not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan Faroki at Rhino Balls says, they got me super pumped to see the movie. Batman looks kind of funny to me, casually posing for a picture, though. Now, Batman on the cover of Entertainment
Cover's
Weekly
kinda weird.
looks stupid. And my Batman should never look stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? He looks chunky. He looks fat. And I'm not a
Fat man.
No, I don't want to fat
no,
shame
no,
him.
no, no.
It's because the neck
It's just the
on the
neck thing.
costume
Yeah.
is so obnoxiously thick.
No.
It makes the whole costume look fat when he is most certainly not.
I know, he's been working out so much for
Just
him
his
to...
neck, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, just working out the neck with the yeah.
Neck lift.
Working on
No,
the
but
traps,
I'm
man.
with you, Matt. I think it's just the neck part is.
Yeah.
I think they probably could have gotten away. I know they're trying to make it look almost like a live action version of the Dark Knight Returns. I think they could have done with the Dark Knight how
How he can actually move his head?
Yes.
Yeah. I want my Batman to be able to move his head freely. It's silly that he can't.
Oh yeah, that's some thick neck right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know why though? Like, I mean, every time someone cricks their neck, I call them like, "Oh, are you going Batman? Are you going full Batman?" Because remember how, like, in the Schumacher, it was always
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, talk
Yeah.
to me," and you have to move your entire body. Maybe this costume design is because he can move his neck, and they needed the extra latex or whatever.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
That's actually
think
a
it
pretty
looks
good
a little bit
explanation.
more animated.
Yeah.
Like it's just like like straight up cartoon. Like
Yeah.
I like the different versions of Batman. I feel like I've seen so many different of Batman. I like little ears. I like the chunkier symbol.
I hate the glowing eyes.
Yeah, the glowing eyes are kind of weird.
Yeah, but that's just for that.
That's just
for
for
that.
the,
like, see at
that's just
night.
for the
You
metal
know, the
suit.
thing that bothers me most out of these pictures is the bat signal being the same shape as his chest bat, and it doesn't really look like a bat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it makes me wonder, do he and Commissioner Gordon have like brand meetings? Like,
Yeah.
I know Commissioner, you could just put any bat there, but it needs to be specifically this
Yeah,
bat
he
because
gave-
that's
he
what I'm
gave
going with.
him
Yeah,
the bat
exactly.
symbol.
They have like the
bat
requirement.
signal.
Yeah,
He
but-
gave him the bat signal in this.
Do you know
Oh,
what?
well, okay.
If you
Well-
squint, it looks like the top part of his mask. It looks like this here with the
Yeah.
little ears.
It looks
Okay.
like underoos, doesn't it? It looks like a little.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the
it does.
backside.
It
The
does.
funniest
Backside
thing about the new
underoos.
bat
You see
suit,
it?
though,
Yes,
is the
yes, I've
texture
got
of it
underwear like
makes it
this.
look like it was printed out in a
My butt
3D
cheeks.
printer.
Interesting.
Like it looks like that weird textured plastic you get out of a 3D
That
printer.
bat symbol is gonna look like nothing in the sky.
No.
It's gonna be like a glob.
To be-
like, I think that's for me, but it
Yeah,
could be a
anything.
a sale at Macy's.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
to be
Alright.
fair,
'Cause it's an M.
the entire premise of the bat signal is kind of dumb. Like, is
He's
it always
changing
caught in
next to
Gotham?
it.
Like, is it always kind of like?
That's my
Because
problem.
of the pollution, though, right?
I guess
all right.
maybe.
What do you? So Eli Baver at Eliu Hayale. I don't know if I pronounced
Nailed
it. I
it.
didn't pronounce that at all.
But you
What
tried.
accent do you think Gal Gadot will use? Do you think Israeli can pass for Amazon?
I think she's going to do standard American.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
I
we
am
heard
Wonder
her do that in the
Woman.
movie? I think they should let her have her accent. Go for it. Why
I
not?
think that would be great. She's a foreigner to our shores.
You know, one thing that kind of like, I
that's
know a
cool.
lot of people have issues with her size. I mean, Gal Gadot served in the military. Like,
No.
she's,
Yeah,
well,
in
you
the
in
IDF,
Israel,
she's
you have
Israeli.
to. Like, it's,
You
yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, and if you've seen her in Fast and Furious, like,
She's a badass.
she kicks ass. And I don't think this, like, because again, she brings up, and when, because people have brought this up to her, she brings up the fact that the old school Amazons used to cut off
A
a
boob,
boob. You
so
know what I
that
mean?
they
So it's
can-
like, yeah.
Draw.
So like,
I just made you all look at
roll
my-
with it.
Sorry.
You know what I mean?
I'll
I
do it
honestly,
too.
on that cover, I think she's the best looking one,
Easily.
costume wise.
Easily.
Like, it's like, oh, that looks like Wonder Woman.
I think it's just we
Except
haven't
apparently the weight
had
that I
like
can't
a
tell.
really fit, muscular female superhero
That is
yet.
true.
And I kind of want just one.
Which
you know,
is why we should
everyone,
incorporate She-Hulk.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But everyone has been like, I'm just really skilled, so I can,
That is
kick
a
your ass.
really
So
good point. That is a
just
really
give
good
me a
point.
little bit of muscle.
Yeah. DJ Thomas at DThomas521 says, I think these images are really cool and all, but what I want to see is more footage like a second trailer.
Wouldn't that be great? We're just getting still after still. Last year at Comic-Con, they wowed us with the still of an unveiling of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman outfit.
Yeah.
I would like to see it in action. I mean, I haven't heard her. We're here wondering what accent she's going to use. Isn't this something that we should be privy to by now?
Yeah.
Well, it's a movie that's coming out next summer. I don't
No,
even
it comes
know.
out in March.
Oh, next spring.
Yeah.
Fine. But I don't know. We've been teasing this thing out for so long.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
very
they're trying to keep
decent-
interest. They're like, no, we're doing things. I promise.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably see just a flood of stuff at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Yes.
watch the half-assed, somebody filmed it on their iPhone sideways,
Yeah.
and just people going in the background. But we'll see something, right?
Yeah. I'm
What,
not-
I mean, what do you think we're gonna see?
What do I think you're going to see? I think you're going to see a 2 to 4 minute show reel. I think you're going to see a lot of dialogue that's out of context. I think you're going to see one complete action sequence, and you're going to see one shot at the very end that's a surprise of either Aquaman or Wonder Woman.
Wow, this
What
sounds...
about Green Lantern?
Green Lantern hasn't been cast yet.
This sounds...
Maybe that's where we reveal it.
True,
Maybe.
yeah. You were basically describing the second teaser for Star Wars.
Pretty
shot,
much.
shot, action, mystery reveal.
Yeah.
Yep, that gets everyone super pumped.
It's a good formula.
exactly.
Look, none of these images have me wowed, except for maybe I like the Superman image. I like him being surrounded by the people. I don't get the Dia de los Muertos makeup, but maybe it is Dia de los Muertos.
Which is interesting because I know for a fact that behind the scenes when they're doing the Spectre, the new Bond, that they're filming it in Mexico City doing Day of the Dead.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is a theme happening.
Maybe I look. Henry Cavill to me was one of the best
Sexy.
elements of
Yes.
Man of Steel.
The casting was solid.
The casting is very, very solid. I love seeing him as Superman. The rest of it, I'm not entirely crazy. I need to see it in motion and not what we got.
Yeah.
I
Can I-
want to see the real shit.
Another unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Please recast Lois Lane.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Oh my God,
What?
Amy Adams.
Not into it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Amy Adams is not a terrible Lois Lane.
need
She
one-
might not be the best Lois
think-
Lane.
I want one
Actually,
with
I-
more
No way
confidence
terrible.
and like charisma,
But I don't
like
think that's
get things
her.
doneism.
I think
thought that was scripting.
I think Amy Adams is
enough.
actually great casting for Lois Lane. She just needs more to work with.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, sure. All
Yeah.
right.
You know,
But we'll see.
She's got
Yeah.
more tenacity than Margot Kidder ever did as Lois Lane, and I love Margot Kidder as Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess we could say it's scripting for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, DJ, you got a pull list for us?
I do have a pull list for
Let's
us.
do it. You said
Well-
one was for me.
Yeah, I got one specifically in here just for you.
Star Wars?
Is it Star Wars?
Maybe?
Is it Star Wars?
So next week is the big relaunch for Archie Comics, the new Archie Comics
Yeah,
number
I
one.
used to read Archie comics.
with Fiona Staples on art, which has me worried because I want her on Saga, and I don't want that book being delayed. But it looks great. Mark Waid's writing. He's been killing on a Daredevil. He's
Mark Waid
Mark
is
Waid.
writing Archie.
Archie. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's worth reading.
So that's a big get for them. Big Man Plans number 4, the end of that miniseries.
I'm so Veronica, by the way. I'm sorry. Go.
Which is like an old school exploitation flick with a dwarf murdering the fuck out of people. It is fantastic. It's from the guy. It's from the guy that made
Eric
The Goon.
Powell?
Yes,
Yeah.
that made The Goon. We've got Saga number 30. Speaking of Fiona Staples, the next part of that, there's a big Star Trek Green Lantern crossover
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Star Trek
Nice.
Green Lantern cross.
No,
That's what they've been doing with the Star Trek things, just crossing it over with everything
Yeah, they did
can.
the Star Trek Doctor Who. It was a lot of fun.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
right.
then
Good Doctor.
last but not least,
Captain
the latest
Murdoch.
addition to the Star Wars comics
Which one
is
is
Star Wars Lando #1.
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
only a limited run though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Same
just
with
him saying suave thing.
yeah, exactly.
Hello, what have we?
And this last week, the last issue of the Princess Leia limited series just ended, and apparently it was fantastic.
Hey, those have been great. Those have been pretty
I've
cool.
heard really good
A lot
things.
of fun.
No.
Super. All right, well, gang, I want to thank you so much for listening to this special episode of Superhero Roundup. I want to thank Khail Anonymous. Khail, where can the people find you?
Just look. I mean, you just Google Khail Anonymous. I'm the only one. so-
Khail
Yeah,
Anonymous.
thank you.
Yeah.
I live behind the couch, so I'm just gonna go.
Super. Yeah, go home. I want to thank Maude Garrett, DJ Wooldridge, Sam Basher, getting better. He'll be on the show next week. Comic-Con's going on. Do we know what we're doing yet with Comic-Con?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a superhero roundup live. I believe it's gonna be here where we actually have Wi-Fi.
Sure.
And we'll keep everybody
called
abreast of what's
cow-picking,
going on
isn't
over
it?
there.
Yeah, so stay
We're looking
tuned.
into seeing if while they're there, if they can get us stuff here. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, Khail just knocked Steve over. Steve's
Come on,
cut out.
Steve.
All right. He's taking him to bed with him.
All
So this show is usually live. Tune in live 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Fridays. I am Matt Lieberman. And hey, if you like this show, whether you listen to it on SoundCloud or iTunes, or you watch it on YouTube, go to iTunes, rate and review the show. It really helps everyone out here and helps us get the sponsors that will keep this show alive. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bingo. Bye bye.
What'd you do?